Well, the debate on DACA has come and gone again. This week, Republicans circulating a discharge petition that could have brought the immigration debate back to the House floor. Joining us now is Andrew Arthur, Center for Immigration Studies resident fellow. Thank you for joining us, sir. I appreciate it. Thank
you for having me.
I want your take, on this, the now past opportunity to debate immigration reform on the House floor. What was your take of what happened this week?
Well, it's an interesting situation because there is both a Queen of the Hill resolution that's pending that would take power away from the Speaker of the House, put it in the hands of the minority to bring an immigration bill to the floor, and also a discharge petition for that resolution. So, DACA is plainly an issue that's going to have to be addressed. Unfortunately, a couple of federal judges have decided to enjoin the ending of the program by the Department of Homeland Security. There really isn't any incentive on the part of the Democrats to negotiate, and the Republicans are basically negotiating against themselves.
Well, yeah, and you talk about incentives, so I'm curious, is this really showing the rift or the gap between some GOP members and also some very conservative members of the House? And do you want to see that ahead of 2018 midterms?
And that's part of the problem with the discharge petition is that the fact is that opinion polls are very much in favor of where President Trump is with respect to his proposals for DACA, including ending chain migration and ending the diversity visa lottery and beefing up the border, and where a lot of these centrist Republicans are. And the concern is that if they're successful in the discharge petition, they do have the Queen of the Hill, and they pass a bill with a majority of Democratic votes, that it's going to really dampen the enthusiasm of Republican voters ahead of the midterm elections. And Majority Leader McCarthy has already warned that this could cost the Republicans the majority in the 116th Congress, the next one coming up.
Right. You talked about dampening enthusiasm. I want to play a quick soundbite from the president. This was on Wednesday, and I want to get your reaction, so listen here.
There could be an MS-13 gang member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before.
The president doubled down on those comments a little bit later in the week. Helpful or hurtful?
Well, with respect to MS-13, I mean, these are individuals who have no regard for human life. They engage in the worst possible criminal activity, and whether they're animals or not, they are individuals who have no regard for human life. And quite frankly, I think that the president was correct in terming MS-13 members as individuals who should be removed from the United States as quickly as possible and taking steps to do so. Well,
and he's also vying for a legislative win here. But I'm curious with the fractured GOP and then the Dems on the other side who are saying that they're not going to support anything that includes funding for a border wall. Is he going to get that legislative win when it comes to immigration reform?
Right now, as I understand it, Speaker Ryan is working with both centrist Republicans and more conservative Republicans to craft a legislative fix for DACA and for border security that will get a majority of the Republicans and will also pull along some Democratic votes. So I think that at the end of the day, the president will get his win.
All right, Andrew Arthur, sir, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.